And I might want to start including Elixni, because they're part of our little team now, too. Isn't that fun? No, it's actually pretty cool. I always felt a little bit weird blasting the faces off of Fallen when I was first playing in Destiny 1, but they were painted as the bad guy, which is the power of propaganda. Any case, so yeah, it's just like any other society. There are good members and bad actors, and we are more than well exposed to some bad actors in our current North American society of the United States. Such as things have been going, but I'm not going to go any further into that, just to let you know that I am aware of the politics, and politics is important to be aware of because a lot of live games like Destiny do actually shine a light on current societal issues and topics and trends. And it has always been it has always been the platform of storytelling to try to bring some awareness to the topics of the day. If anything else, to try to present it through a neutral or alternative lens, as it were. Now, I was raised pretty much, in a private school through grade school. I went to a public high school and then community college, and so I have these three different lenses through which I see the world. I do not say that this is recommended for everybody, but I do encourage people to step outside of their molds, of their patterns, and try to understand what's going on, Anyway, like I said, I'm off of that topic. Back to the comment at hand for this little broadcast. Bugs and bounties are not content, Bungie. It has been an age-old, podium thump of mine that bounties are not content. I don't mind quests. Quests are great. Every game has quests, and you sit down to play some Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to quest for something. That's the MacGuffin. But as Alfred Hitchcock has famously said, the MacGuffin is something that the characters very deeply care about, but the audience could give absolutely no interest to whatsoever. It's not a direct quote, thank you. It's paraphrasing. And so, yeah, fetch quests, we're familiar with those when we played Zelda games. The MacGuffin, the get the magic item to do the magical thing and get further magic items. Always fun, but not real content. So I'm not going to dive into what I consider to be content. You should have figured that out. If you don't, then go watch the last 6 or so videos that I still have up. Now, a lot of times I segue so much that I'll delete a broadcast and then I won't even redo the broadcast because I prefer my commentary to be relevant, to be live, to be a living commentary, a living journal, as it would be. So I'm waiting for the game to load. But yeah, this morning the social chat for the Gunfu Monks, which is the clan that my son and a buddy of ours all started together back in Destiny 1, was pretty popping with like, does not give me pinnacles. Raids don't drop pinnacles, or raids are not producing spoils as much as they do, and you don't even get spoils off the first chest. Which may be because they were deprecating the older raids in favor of the Vault of Glass. But it is also something else that our buddy, Unlucky Mercenary, brought up, is that there is supposed to be a pinnacle reward for doing stuff with the servitor, Path of the Splicer, hell, blah 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 blah. I'm still trying to earn materials to do all that. By the way, it's yeah. I paid for the season, man. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what I can to get the materials that I want for that. So yeah. Speaking of, if you'll notice, I don't know if anybody else pointed this out yet or not, but in the past when you pay for the season, the bottom row starts you off with a starter pack. You get the weapon, you get the armor, you get some materials. This time you just get the weapon, and honestly, and it must be because of Ammo's armor mod, transmography, blah, 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 that you don't get any actual armor in the season at all. There's no armor here. So yeah, that's okay. taking that away, I guess that's okay. It's fine because you get tons of armor, and now you no longer have to worry about the look of the armor because you get, as long as you get one piece, regardless of its stat rolls, you can go ahead and transmog it. But that's just going to grind you into the content more, which is not something we really want to do. So looking at my quest steps here, um, one of these is supposed to say provides a pinnacle reward, but I can't remember. I'm going to have to go out to the messages. Give me a minute. Sorry, kids. Let me go ahead. I do these little weekly thingies, and I don't even pay attention really to what the reward is supposed to be. It's like, oh, it's a list, it's a to do list. I'm gonna get it done. Aren't I a good little soldier? Um, Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Yeah, you know where that's from. Unless, of course, you've been living under a small rock in the middle of a desert planet. Arrakis. No. Tatooine. Um, yeah, so not sure what the hell is really going on. I myself have not experienced any problems about the pinnacles. My pinnacle run is basically pretty light. It's I do the Europa Exo Challenge. I'll do the 3 playlist pinnacles, and if I'm feeling adventurous enough, I'll grab a couple of friends and go do like a Master Nightfall for the 100k, or do some Nightfalls for the 100k. I won't say Master Nightfalls. You don't really need to do anything more than heroic, really. And then maybe I'll do like a Master Empire Hunt, and then possibly maybe if someone's really like, oh come on man, it'll be fun, we'll go fast. I'll do the presage. I'll do a dungeon like the presage or something like that because I don't like putting in a lot of time into each individual activity. I like my activities to be with about 15 minutes or less, and I think it's kind of BS that because I've gotten to the point where I can spend 2 minutes in an activity and know exactly that this is going to take longer than 15 minutes, or this is going to be, not producing the results I need it to produce. And rather than sit there with the tilt against my team or my opponents and be less of a contributor than I could be, so some machine guns, shotguns, and swords. Um, I would much rather just remove myself from the match that early on and give Bungie time to replace me. Now, in match-made games, that's not going to. I mean, in match-made games, that's perfectly going to happen. Now, I will never QQ out of a fire-teamed game because obviously I paired up with these guys to do this. But I will do only the one run if it's taking longer than the time that I expected it to. This is a lot of reason why I don't normally invest too heavily into raid activities because I expect a raid to take about an hour. Anything, I would like raids to take less than that. But I will go ahead and I will put in the effort, to complete as fast as possible. But it's going to come down to the fact that if the raid took too long or if my rewards were not enticing enough, I won't go back in. Not for that day. Not for probably the rest of that week. I will basically say laters and go off and do my own thing. I mean, I I brought this up so many times before, so you know that I was on a restriction for 2 months because so-called my internet was like really crap. Even though my son and I play on the same internet with the same Wi-Fi with the same signal strengths, we check our consoles. We do the internet testing on the consoles. It tells you what your up and down speeds are, what your Wi-Fi signal is, and we all have the same stats. Yet I got restricted from playing PvP and Gambit for 2 months. Well, in that 2 months, I learned to enjoy this game just fucking around, doing patrols, doing planetary, bounties, doing gunsmith research bounties, and then like I said, yeah, okay, so most of my activity was clearing bounties, but I don't use the bounties as my goals. They're not the MacGuffin. Get it? See, I brought that whole point around in about 10 minutes. I'm doing better. But anyway, the bounties are just a bit extra reward for what I'm already going to be doing, which is shooting aliens and gathering loot. And the whole point for gathering resources and loot is just to tune my character. Now, I like the transmogrification option, but quite frankly, as it stands right now, I really have no other desire to do anything about it because I transmog the one piece of gear that I'm using that I really want. What I really want is the scarf, the legendary scarf that we had back in Destiny 1. This armor is as close to the Long Tomorrow as I had back in Destiny 1, except for, of course, the Stompies. I like this mod on the Stompies. It's a shame that we can't actually transmog our exotic pieces because I would love for these just to be like some regular pants, but that's okay. This is a decent enough shade on it. This is a decent enough, design on it. I don't have that glaring silver thing from the Lux chestplate mod. And, I'm pretty much done with transmogrification. There's not much in the armor looks that appeal to me outside of what was already available in the game. But that's me. That's just how I feel about it. So, yeah, that's about it. But yeah, Bungie, if you happen to stumble across this, guys, within the next, 5 or 6 hours, because I'm pretty sure the forums are going to light up pretty soon about people getting to the point where they're supposed to be able to claim these pinnacle rewards for the seasonal vendor and other activities, and they're not happening. And that's something that Bungie players really get precious about is, hey, where's my candy? Huh? Where's my candy? Give me my fucking candy or I'm going to cut you. So I'm going to shut up and play some game. You guys have fun, and thanks for stopping by.